Yo, chat, what's good? What's good? Is this lighting good? Gotta scratch my head. Okay. So the sitch for this video is this beauty is been my bae for the last week, and I've been doing everything. I've been doing every single thing that this book has been telling me, and let me read what I'm supposed to do, because I started this video as a way to track my progress, how I am, what I am doing. Sorry, I'm kind of scattered. Okay. So I have it all on the page here. So week one, The Artist Way. By the way, if you don't know what The Artist Way is, it's a book literally everyone and their mom who is a creative has probably heard of, if not tried doing it, if not completed it. And I've heard this book mentioned so many times by people, but then I saw Dochi's videos of her doing it when she was going through it and didn't know where she was going artistically and didn't know what she was doing. And by the end of the 12th week, because this is basically a 12 week course, she was like, oh shit, man, like I got it. And she did get it, and she's fucking popping right now. So I was like, hey, if it works for her and it works for people, what's the harm in trying? So what I had to do, basically, you read a chapter at the beginning of every week. I'm going to read my second week chapter after this video. I don't know why I was procrastinating making this. Anyways. Whoa. Walk. It looks like I'm wearing a wig when I do that. Not a wig, but like my face is a mask. What the fuck? Okay. So, the most important thing that this book is telling you to do is morning pages. And morning pages is probably everyone has heard of before. Even if you haven't heard of the book, it's just wake up and write 3 pages. 3 pages, anything, everything. Just don't stop writing until the 3 pages are full. And she was like, it's important not to reread them. I wasn't sure why, but I trusted it. It's a good thing I didn't, because I probably wrote some whack shit. I don't even want to know what I wrote. And so here I have an envelope. And I put all my morning pages from this week. I took them out, folded them, and put them in here. She said to put them away. And I ripped all the pages out. There's no more pages here, except first page that reminds me of everything I have to do. So, about the morning pages. The morning pages were amazing. Super exciting at first. I'm like, yes, I got this, I got this. Hard part. I have to wake up at 6 a.m. 2 times a week for my classes. Another problem. How the fuck am I gonna have time to do this? It takes 30 minutes, which is like, really? The 3 pages of writing 30 minutes? Like, yeah, it takes me 30 minutes. And you have to do affirmations after that, which I'll get into after this. So yeah, I had to wake up at 5:30 twice. For some reason, it was easier for me to wake up at 5:30 a.m. than it was to wake up on days where I didn't have to go to school. I don't know. I guess it's just because I know I have to get my ass up and go. Like, I don't have a choice. My brain is kind of scattered right now, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna get through this video because this is important. So yeah, the morning pages were great. They were challenged this morning. I fell asleep mid writing them, and then my writing started going like curving off the lines and shit because I didn't sleep enough. But still finished the pages. I fell back asleep and I woke up and I finished them. So, you know, work smart and hard. I don't know. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. For this first week, I got every day going, 7 days, morning pages. And throughout the day, I notice that my brain is actually a little emptier, but also nicer to me because as I'm writing, like my stream of consciousness, as I write, my stream of consciousness comes out, and a lot of mean things or subtle things that I normally would have noticed kind of come out, and I question them in my stream of consciousness as I'm writing. I'm like, oh, da 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 da. Wait, why did I say that? And I'm writing this. I'm like, why did I say that? Oh, wait, I think this because da 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 da. And it just naturally came out of me. And it's like these stupid, I mean, they were not stupid. I understand where they came from, but these limiting beliefs and these limiting thoughts just came out. And I saw them. And I didn't have to like dig. I didn't have to like, what are my limiting beliefs? Because they're subconscious. So that's a good way, really good way to, especially because you're so sleepy and half awake, half asleep. Kind of stay, because I literally would leave my notebook open with the pen on the notebook on my table, and then get up, and the first thing I would do is literally roll myself out of bed, wrap myself in a blanket because I sleep without pants because it's cold, it's winter, and just start writing. And it would also help me wake me up. Morning pages, great. Hard, yeah, kind of. Especially when you're like, when I first start writing, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna fill these pages because look how big this notebook is. I have to fill 3 of these. I'm like, wow, 3 pages. Like, even writing, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna fill these 3 pages. I can't imagine I'm gonna have this much to say. And by the end, I always have something. Like, you always have something to write. So, yeah. Anything else I have to say about it? Yeah, and during the day, sometimes I'll think back to a feeling I had or a thought I had while I was writing. Usually, I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but I remember a feeling that I had while writing. And like it could be a feeling of block. I got that a lot in some mornings where I'm writing, and I feel this in my chest that it's like blocked. But I know I have to keep writing. But my body's like, oh, what are you gonna say? I don't know what to write. And I literally write, I don't know what to write. Oh my god. And I just keep writing, and then the feeling kind of melts away. And then I get into like a groove of writing about something else. And then during my day, when I get a block, completely unrelated, I'm like, oh, my body's telling me to stop, but I know I have to keep going. So I keep going, and it dissolves way faster than I could have anticipated. So it kind of taught me so far about the flow of things. I guess that's kind of what this course is about, like getting back to your flow. Because it's not like you need to learn anything, it's you need to unlearn all this stuff. And yeah, so there were morning pages, and right after the morning pages, the only other thing you had to read in the morning, every morning, was affirmations and blurts. So affirmations, there's some in the book to get you started, and then I kind of just went on my own affirmations. I kind of wrote what I wanted to hear, like in the morning. I could read some affirmations from the book. I have it bookmarked. Do I? Here. So some affirmations, they're specifically for like creativity, but I kind of further made my own affirmations about like love or about working. I don't think I did one about working, but you get the point. I am a channel for God's creativity, and my work comes to good. There's a divine plan of goodness for me. I'm willing to use my creative talents, like it's that kind of stuff. And when you're writing these affirmations, you're gonna have little thoughts in your head. At least I did for some of them, not all of them, that are like contesting against them and being like, oh, like I am not willing to use my creative talents because I have none. And then you're supposed to like write those down, write those thoughts, and then write those thoughts in a positive way. So I have another notebook for my exercises. Here, I'll read my favorite. I did some really good stuff the last few days. Here, I was writing affirmation that says, my creativity leads me to forgiveness. It says, my creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. And I had blurt that came and it says, you'll never forgive yourself for the ways you fucked up your life. Doozy. Ooh, that stings. And I had to reframe that. And I wrote, your life barely even started. Forgiveness, especially towards self, takes time. It takes your whole life. Even saying that now makes me feel better. But that was pretty strong. Like that blurt was pretty strong. Oh, and about the blurts. Julia Cameron, she wrote the book, wanted us to draw or make a picture of this little blurter. She called him the censor. That censors you when you say good things or when you just exist. So this is my drawing of my censor. It's kind of Sharpie because I put Sharpie on the back, but you can see him. He has smelly feet, he has flies, he has hairy nipples, you know, the usual. That's my censor. That's kind of what I look back to when I write these kind of evil thoughts that come out of me. I'm like, oh, it's just that fucking smelly bitch saying shit, you know what I mean? And yeah, I have another one here. My creativity heals myself and others. That's the other affirmation I wrote that day, January 14th, so like 3 days ago. And the first one I wrote was you're kooky. And then my positive reframing of that is you're anything you wish to believe about yourself, which is true. My second blurt was your creativity's fucking weird. And then I reframed it. I said, no one has the creativity you do, no one can replace it. And then a blurt I had was, you're too loud and too much, shut up. Damn, girl. And I reframed it. I said, you speak your mind when and how you want to without judgment. And I need to hear that right now. It's interesting to read these back even. And on top of these, which you do every morning, the morning pages and the affirmations and the blurts, those are every single day. I did the affirmations after the morning pages. But on top of that, there were a list of activities that you're supposed to work through the week. You can kind of do them whenever you want. I got as many done as early through the week. I did as many of them as I could the first like 1-2 days of this week because I thought that throughout the week, you know, shit's gonna come up. I'm probably not gonna have that much time or energy or whatever. So I wrote down everything from the book, just like in my own thing, of the activities we're supposed to do. So the first thing, and the most important thing that you're supposed to do is go on an artist date. And this is gonna be something I'm gonna do every week now, because that's what the book says. And it's just picking your artist self on a date. Do something your artist self, or in other words, your little baby inner self would want to do. At first I was like, oh man, I don't know, it's winter, like I don't know what to do. There's nothing that I want to do. I'm gonna go somewhere, I don't want to go, I don't have the energy, And I started thinking so much, and then through my morning pages actually, I started writing about a banana split. And I was like, oh shit, I've never had a banana split before. And I was like, oh man, dude, I could totally try one. And I'm like, oh man, dude, that could be my artist day. Oh man, dude, I just figured it out. So that's what I did. I did it today, the last day of the week. Next time, I won't do it the last day of the week. Unless I make it a regular thing. I still have to arrange my schedule. It's kind of messy with school and the gym and work. I need to organize because it is overwhelming and I am quite a little bit, perhaps, maybe overwhelmed. But that is for after this video. Yeah. So the artist day I went on today and I was pretty frustrated. I woke up pretty frustrated. My earlier video from today, I was pretty frustrated. And I missed my bus because I was going to the mall that had the ice cream store. Yeah, ice cream store. And that I was gonna get the banana split, and the mall is right beside my work, which I had later that day. So I was like, perfecto, I'm gonna go there. I missed my bus. And it was the bus that I planned to take so that I have 2 hours for this artist day, because the book is like given at least 2 hours, and I totally agree it's like a normal hangout time, like a minimum hangout time to be comfortable and like, get in the groove of just, having fun. So, yeah, I missed the bus, so my time is cut short, basically summarized in the other video, and I'm pretty frustrated. Anyways, I go get the ice cream. And I'm like, all right, let's make do with what I have. I buy a coloring book. It was like a witchcraft coloring book. It has like cats and shit, super cool. And I got some markers, and I just turned on some lo-fi beats and ate my ice cream, colored for an hour. I felt super zen, dude. Super zen. It was awesome. I'm so glad I did that. And then I went to work today. My point being, gotta plan those into my week. They are fun, and don't overcomplicate them. Be simple, have fun. So those are kind of the core things. I also want to cover the exercises that I had to go through throughout the week. So they're all like written stuff. So I had to time travel 3 enemies. Actually, I'm curious. I want to reread what I wrote. I don't think I'm going to share everything because this is public internet, but maybe not names. I'll give them different names. So we have to time travel to enemies. It says 3 enemies, but I wrote 4. And enemies like to your creative spirit. And like, I think that's self-explanatory. So I have 4. I don't want to list them. I don't want to list my enemies publicly. My spirit and enemies. So yeah, and after you write the enemies, you have to write a horror story of one instance where one of these enemies like was doing fuck shit to you, or like put you through fuck shit. So I wrote one. And yeah, after that, you take your enemy. What do you do? Oh, and you have to like draw them and like cross them out, and you have to write a letter in defense of your younger self. So I wrote, to whom it may concern, blank, my enemy, is an airhead that doesn't understand feelings. Blank hurt my feelings and abandoned me. Your article on blank's dumbness was very right. Thank you for reading my letter, dash little Karina, with like an angry face. So it's supposed to just like make fun of it, but at the same time like acknowledge, I guess. So I did like that activity. And on the flip side, yeah, you time travel to 3 champions. So people that championed your creativity. This I actually want to read because it made me happy. So my first champion was my Coach Alex, which if you're watching, which you're not, nobody from my team, my volleyball team, is ever going to see this, but he definitely championed me spiritually, I guess creatively in effect, but he was my volleyball coach, like outside of school. And I was just trying to remember everything about him that made his name come to my head when I was thinking about this stuff. And I wrote a quote. He would always say, if you don't give it 100%, why are you doing it? So like when we show up to practice, he'd always make it a point. He's like, don't fucking half-ass anything. And I remember it would make me work really hard, especially when I was tired. Like he was he was an amazing coach, and he was amazing at just saying things how they are and pushing you in a healthy way to be your best. I don't know. He's great. Thanks. Yeah, I literally wrote that. Pushed me to be my best self beyond volleyball. He was very fair and didn't single me out, but noticed my progress because I was the weakest player on the whole team. They were really, really competitive team, and I couldn't even believe I was on there. Like I was objectively the worst player, and I knew that, but that made me work even harder than all the other people. It was humbling and taught me hard work. I literally wrote that. And I was trying to remember of like moments with him, and he was excited about me serving like 12 times in a row, like during a tournament. He never specifically said anything, but I knew on the inside how trustworthy, supportive, and honest coach he was, and what it took to go from good to great. Yeah. My second champion was my camp counselor named Alina. I haven't thought about her in so long. It's really interesting. Her name also came to my head when I said this. I wrote that she was extremely honest. She didn't care about what was right. She gave me a safe space to express myself despite her being older and having more intense problems. Like, more, she was a fucking full grown, like, English teacher, and I was like a 12-year-old. And she shared her passion for reading with me, recommended Six of Crows to me. I'm pretty sure I never got around to reading it though, sad face. Yeah, we talked about reading all the time. I remember I was reading Harry Potter that summer. Maybe I was 11 or 12, I don't know. Super into it, and me and her would just kind of like leave everybody in the group and we would sit and just talk, and she would just bitch about her life. Be like, yeah, man, I don't want to fucking be here. I'm like, yeah, man, me neither. Like, I don't know why. Like, these people are all so fucking weird. She's like, yeah, they're all so weird. Like, I know exactly what you mean. Like, yeah, and I talked to her on Instagram too. I wrote that down. She gave me her Instagram. It was super chill. Like, she's awesome. She's a millennial. She's like my favorite millennial. Sorry to my aunt. Sorry, auntie. She's my favorite. But I haven't spoken to her in God knows how many years. My third one is my teacher named Madame Williamson in elementary school.